Thank you, everybody, for coming back to the riggsbeast channel. As always, let's go beast on that subscribe button. Let's go beast on that like button. And let's go beast on this Raw review, which came to you from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Before we even get into Raw tonight, which, as I said on Twitter, I'm going to be brief and I'm going to be quite blunt when it comes to this show, and I'm going to scathe it. But let's start with something that is one of the most egregious things this company could have done. Legendary Hall of Fame announcer Jim Ross, who has announced for the NWA, WCW, Mid-South, and WWE, WWF, lost his wife late last week in a tragic accident. Now, many wrestlers stepped up to give condolences, fans stepped up to give condolences, different organizations Jim has had touch with stepped up to give condolences. You would think that WWE could take 10 seconds out of their show to put it in loving memory of Jan Ross. You think they could take 10 seconds to do this? Well, they couldn't. They couldn't even do that. And that is disgusting. We all want to cry and we all want to go off about how China should be in the Hall of Fame. And I don't even doubt that that's true. But to me, a more egregious act is not even recognizing the death of one of your most famous employees' wives out of respect for what he has done. That is disgusting. Now, let's get on to the actual show. You see, they didn't have time, I guess, to do this. So maybe they didn't have time to do this because they were busy getting everybody ready for the ultimate thrill ride, and that's the only time you're ever going to hear me say that, WrestleMania, right? Well, how do you start a show 1 week before WrestleMania? You try to start it hot, right? You try to start it with the most impressive angle you've got, right? Wrong. Bayley comes out, and for God knows how many weeks in a row, we're going to keep going with about being a fan and how she used to get money with her friends and order WWE WrestleMania, and how now she's going to be a part of WrestleMania. Now, this is why we're supposed to be sympathetic towards Bayley. No other real reason. No other real reason other than this. Then Charlotte comes out, and we have nothing to sink our teeth into with this. Absolutely nothing. I'm supposed to be mad at Charlotte for what? Why? Why am I supposed to back Bayley? Any reason at all. This, by the way, is what they sacrificed the SmackDown Women's title and the SmackDown Women for. This is what they sacrificed it for, guys. Remember that. Charlotte then is going about how Sasha's using Bayley to get back in the title picture because when Charlotte beat Sasha at end of the line, that was it for her. But now she's using Bayley to get back into it, which is true, which makes sense, which why wouldn't anybody do? And this is how Sasha's going to turn heel. Well, guess who comes out now? Sasha's going to come out. Sasha says a couple things, blah, 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 nothing important. Nia Jax comes out and says what's basically been on everybody's mind, that this is high school drama. They've been trading the title back and forth, and it's pathetic. Nia Jax, you are correct, ma'am. 100% correct. They start fighting. Hey, did you know what? They booked a tag match. So now we're going to have the women's tag match, Sasha and Bayley versus Nia and Charlotte. This was the first 30 minutes of the Raw before WrestleMania. One of your weakest matches is giving 30 minutes. No time for a Jan Ross in loving memory here, right? None. The whole point of this tag match is to preview the four women in the ring at the same time. That's all you're doing this for. Philly started going to sleep already. And this match went 20 minutes. Seriously, I'm not joking. 20 minutes for nothing but a teaser. Bayley pins Charlotte with a Bayley to belly suplex to win. Nia then attacks everybody. Nia then even gets Charlotte. You really need the last 2 minutes where Nia looked dominant, held up the title to show the threat that she is. You didn't need the full 20 minutes. That's a reason to not have a Jan Ross in loving memory. By the way, this match was now an elimination match to even push forward in my eyes eventually Sasha heel turn. We then go to a recap of Mick Foley being fired, and then Sami Zayn is going to put himself in the Battle Royal, which everybody else has done. Everybody else, SmackDown and Raw, both did it. Well, in typical Sami Zayn fashion, he can't do that. Stephanie comes out, and now you have to win a match to get in. We're changing the rules as we go along, of course, to get sympathy on Zayn, but it just looks stupid. So like I said, everybody can declare for the match. I can get in, and I can get in, but Sami Zayn, no, fuck you. You have to earn it. They just make the guy look stupid week after week. But it's going to be Zayn versus Owens, so at least we're getting a good match out of it. And nothing else, you're getting a good match. Next up, you get Austin Aries versus Noam Dar. Who gives a fuck? We're going to show off Austin Aries' moveset to get you excited for the match with Neville. You get a kick to the face to Dar. Boom, we quickly go to commercial break. Great way to get the TV audience excited. And in another ironic twist of this night, this match goes on for about 10 total minutes, 7 minutes longer than the usual 3. This is the night they're giving matches time. This night, teaser bullshit, they're giving time. Good fucking God. Aries hits last chancery submission for the win. Moving on. Taker vignette number 2. The night started with a vignette from The Undertaker. This is the second one. It happened before the Triple H Rollins segment. So Raw really started at 9 o'clock. The first hour was basic throwaway. We get something of importance at 9 o'clock. It was a dick measuring contest for the first 5 minutes. Triple H wants Seth to sit and listen. Seth won't. Crowd chants no. Whose dick is bigger than whose? Triple H says, well, you're not going to sit down. I'm going to not make the match. He sits down. And then Triple H goes on a 5-minute promo talking about where the jealousy of success will breed hate. And if people aren't hating you for your success, then you're not making money. Talking about how listening to people of jealousy will only bring you down. How is this wrong? Talking about eating well, then sleeping well. How is this wrong? How is the heel Triple H wrong? This is what CM Punk was talking about when he brought up how Triple H kind of undermines everything to put himself over. That's kind of what he's doing here, because how the fuck is he wrong? Tell me in the comments. Tell me on Twitter at the riggsbeast. How is Triple H wrong for anything he said? Seth retorts this, talking about redemption and getting Seth Rollins back, and how he used to be perfectly fine with wrestling for a hot dog and a handshake. Well, that sounds smart. I'd rather be poor and beat my body up than beat my body up and make money. But I'm supposed to believe as a fan. Now, I'm not buying into the story here. I'm just going as a fan. Looking at this. Well, making money for beating my body up is bad. But getting a hot dog and a handshake, that's honorable. It's garbage. It's bullshit. And if it's not used for the love of the business over and over, it's the second time in the night. Bayley used it to start. Why would I get invested? Why would I get behind it? If it was used sparingly, you can suspend your disbelief. But we've used it 2 times in an hour. Anyway, both guys signed the contract. Triple H then attacks Seth, but Seth gets one over in the fight with Triple H. He stands tall. They're going to have a match. It's non-sanctioned at WrestleMania. Next, this is a real fucking doozy here. Over the top rope challenge. So the big show starts with Steroids Mahal. He throws Steroids Mahal out. Jobber number 2, Bo Dallas. Can you just let him go to SmackDown and be in the Wyatt family, please? Please? I'm begging you, WWE, please. Well, he goes out. Jobbers 3 and 4, the Shining Stars come in. They're gone. Goldust, Axel, and R-Truth come out. And they all jam up in the big show and they get him out. This makes Big Man angry. Big Man angry. Girl, get back in ring. Beat up 9 guys. And then, in everybody's amazement, there was no way this was going to happen. Braun Strowman comes out. Wow. Guess what Braun Strowman's doing at WrestleMania? He's in the Battle Royal. But he wouldn't fight the Big Show. No. They got to wait till Mania. I dig what Braun Strowman's doing. I could seriously dig what Braun Strowman is doing. But this is a misuse of him here. Next, quick Gallows and Anderson interview. Nothing special. Taker vignette number 3. Then you get a New Day video from the New York Stock Exchange in Philadelphia with some running up the stairs, goofy camera work. Just dumb. This is the portion of the show where I ask WWE to either fire Byron Saxton or for Byron Saxton to do the honorable thing and quit his job. Now, I got to disagree with you, Twitter. I ran a poll on SmackDown and then I ran the same poll on Raw. I needed a control to this variable question. Who is worse at their job? David Otunga or Byron Saxton? David Otunga has won both times with over 60%. David Otunga is bad at his job. But I would like to retort, have you heard Byron Saxton? I mean, have you really listened to him? He is the voice of the 5-year-olds. You really want that on your television? You really want to hear that? I say fire them both. But I would ask you to reconsider. I will ask this again next week, and I will continue to do it. I want to see if this continues. After this, we get Sheamus and Cesaro in an interview. Blah, blah, garbage, Mick Foley, attacked by Anderson and Gallows with a ladder. Neville and Jack Gallagher is next. Now, this match is entertaining. It's not as good as the one at Fastlane, but you can't expect that. There was actually a nice bump in this match where Gallagher gets thrown into the rope, takes it chest first, comes back. Neville quickly gets him into a release German suplex. It was beautiful to watch. Later in the match, Gallagher does his Mary Poppins thing. It was a dive off the top rope onto Neville. It honestly is still funny when he does it. I still get a chuckle. Back in the ring, Neville counters Gallagher's attack into a kick. Then he does a superplex, and then he gets him into the Rings of Saturn for the tap out. Neville wins. Austin Aries' special news report comes on. I had hope for this until it was really the New Day where Aries was asking who was going to win. He does the cruiserweight champion New Day gimmick, and it ends with a New Day AA chant. Now we're going to get the Roman Reigns segment where WWE decided to fuck with your emotions. They fucked with them, boys. Don't take the bait. I'm going to let the cat out of the bag before I even talk about it. Roman was heel in this segment. If you go back in YouTube, Roman Reigns from NXT, you will see a similar Reigns there that you saw here tonight. I will not misguide my audience. Do not believe it until it is confirmed. Because they fucked with you with Cena. They fucked with you in the past. Don't let them do it again. How did they fuck with you? He started talking about how this arena, this crowd, this ring, they're all his now. They belong to him. How he's been the main event of Mania twice. Just to get back at the boos that the crowd was giving him. Just to get under their skin. It was good. Says he doesn't care what Goldberg or Lesnar or Cena. The crowd started chanting Taker. Says he damn sure doesn't think what Taker thinks either. It's his yard now. And the arena's his crowd. And everything is his. This was cocky. I'm better than you, Roman. This is the Roman he needs to be. This is the Roman that you can love to hate correctly. Still not falling for it. Still not letting them get me. Nope. Don't let them get you either. They fuck with you. They've done it with Cena in the past. Like I said before, don't let them get you. All of a sudden, boom, lights go out. You get a video of an open graveyard. And Taker's there, and he starts talking about, this will be your new yard. It's an open grave. When The Undertaker has to say the WrestleMania slogan in his little promo, he goes, at the ultimate thrill ride. When you have The Undertaker saying the goddamn slogan, I'm done. You have taken the essence of a Taker promo, and you've thrown it away for corporate bullshit. Everything now becomes corporate garbage. And I get the branding. I get the branding aspect. But why do it here? You have almost every fucking wrestler doing it. You need to have Taker doing it too. Have Roman do it. It would be smarter for Roman than Taker. Taker then finishes with, at Mania, you will, stops. Lights go out again, music hits. Lights on, Undertaker magic, he's in the ring with Roman. Roman, of course, is completely unfazed by the fact that a man was on the screen. Lights go out, boom is in the ring, completely unaffected. Realism, boys. And this show has given you a definite reason to suspend your disbelief, too. Don't give me that one. That was sarcasm. He then finishes saying Roman will rest in peace at Mania, throws his hands up for the lightning effect. Slowly, the lights go down. As his hands go down, commercial, Roman doesn't move. Oh, my God. This is Monday Night Raw. Building excitement for WrestleMania, which, by the way, I ran a poll as well. If you think this is just me, 71%, WrestleMania is not building excitement. But we still haven't had time to do a 10-second in loving memory for Jan Ross. Keep that one in mind, too. Enzo and Cass versus Anderson and Gallows is next. The match is actually never going to happen. Cesaro and Sheamus are going to attack with a ladder. It turns into a clusterfuck. Anderson and Gallows get the ultimate advantage. I wonder if this is going to be a ladder match now. Chances are it's going to be a ladder match. Kevin Owens interviews up next. Admits he was once a Jericho fan, but never was Jericho his idol, and that Jericho was right for making fun of him because Jericho fans are idiots, and then talks about the opportunity to finally to get Zayn out of his life and to have Zayn go home and tell his family, I'm no longer a WWE superstar and I'm a failure. Good little interview by Owens. He even kind of, when he had to say the ultimate thrill ride. Next, we're going to get Rollins Triple H promo. Didn't we just have this an hour ago? We need a promo too? Fantastic. Last match of the night, good match, Owens and Zane. They are incapable of having a bad match, these two guys. Incapable. They're fighting all over the place. They start in the ring. They go to the crowd. They're in the tech area. They eventually make their way to the announcer's desk. Zane does a senton on a standing Owens near that announcer's desk right before they go to commercial break. Great shit. They come back from break. They're fighting again. This is just back and forth brawl. Zane's got Owens set up for a haluva kick. It's reversed into a super kick. Owens then goes for a frog splash, 2 count. Owens yells at Zane, get out of my life. Goes for the pop-up powerbomb, countered into a blue thunder bomb, 2 count. Then out comes Samoa Joe. You knew this was coming. Then Jericho's music hits. Jericho attacks Joe from behind with a chair. Then after distraction, Zayn gets a roll-up. So Zayn's going to win the match. He's not going to be fired. He's going to WrestleMania to be insignificant in the Andre Memorial Battle Royal, which Braun Strowman will win. After this, though, Owens is pissed. He's going after Zane. Jericho's going to attack Owens with a chair to protect Zane. Jericho then puts Owens on the list for betraying Jericho. And then Lesnar Goldberg. This is the big go-off. This is the big WrestleMania build right here. This is where you're going to get that excitement. This is where you're going to build the intensity, and the crowd's totally not going to entertain themselves, right? Wrong. Crowd starts chanting Goldberg, Goldberg while Heyman's talking. Then just starts chanting Suplex City for the fuck of it. Again, no time to put a 10-second in loving memory of Jan Ross through any of this garbage. Keep that in mind. Again, Heyman is doing everything he can to sell this crowd. He's doing everything he can to sell this match. But the crowd, they're just in it for themselves. And the TV audience, this comes off as nothing special. It's already stuff you've heard. Goldberg comes out, says, let's bring Mania to Philly because he can't bring all of Philly to Mania. Spears Lesnar. And that's it. That's Monday Night Raw. That's all that happened Monday Night Raw. If you're looking, wait, there had to be something else. They had to do something. Nope. That's all they did. This wasn't the worst Raw of the year. No, it's not. But when you're trying to build for WrestleMania, which has been severely lackluster, very, very similar to WrestleMania 31. The build for most of 31 was awful. Wound up being a good show. My prediction for this was a worse build than 31 had. But between Wyatt and Orton, Owens and Jericho, Neville and Aries, Styles and McMahon, though I know Styles should be doing more, Styles and McMahon will be a good match. I have a feeling this is going to wind up a lot like 31. You're going to enjoy the show, hate the fucking build, despise the build. And that's all I've got to say about Raw. It was awful for building Mania, and I am extremely ashamed of WWE for not even taking 10 seconds out of this. 10 seconds to do an in-loving memory of Jan Ross, even if they didn't mean it, even if they didn't care, just to show respect to one of their greatest employees, Jim Ross. But that's going to do it for this week's Raw review. As always, let's go beast on that subscribe button. Let's go beast on that like button. And as always, guys, keep it beast.